Hello, TaskHawk designers. So we're going to be moving on to our next part of this unit, which is where you're going to be developing ideas. The first part of the unit was to have you go through, start understanding how research questions work, getting the blog organized, and now what we're going to be doing for our next step is we're going to be going through those videos that I gave you, and you're going to be recording about what to do for a set amount of time. So I'm going to give you about 3 to 4 class periods to be going through the rest of the units and making sure that you understand how coding works. For some of you, you're going to be able to do this relatively simple in class as you stay focused and you manage to get all of your stuff done, and some of you may already be ahead of the game with this. I'm only making you go up to 8, okay? So if you make it up to 8, then you'll be able to get in that 5-6 category descriptor of where you are at. If you go all the way up to Unit 10, you have everything there, then you're going to be more successful when you move up to Objective C, and you'll be able to obtain that 7. Now, if we look at the 7 criteria for this, it develops a list of success criteria in all units, presents feasible design ideas in your post with correct vocabulary, which can be interpreted by others. So as you're doing these units, you should be thinking about what you can use from each unit to help you with your final development of an animation or a game. Presents the chosen design describing the key scripts or skills. At the very end, on the last day, I'll have you guys work on this, where you then go through and look at all that stuff that you learned and find out some of those key scripts or skills. You can also do this, it's an advanced way to do it. You could put these within each post, describing in each post the scripts or skills that you're going to use, and that's your way to present it is through the blog. Then creates a plan using correct vocabulary and scripts to make their final idea with screenshot and dated evidence. This could also be used as a standalone post if you feel like you have a pretty advanced understanding of Blogger, and we had that conversation with your previous grading. If not, go ahead and just try to add it in with every unit. So your paragraph then has a design idea about how to use that script or skill and to create a plan using correct vocabulary. You won't be able to move on to the next step until you are at Unit 8. So if we're moving on to the actual game section where they're building it and they're able to explore those different things, you're still going to be at this part sitting in the back with me working on this criterion, because otherwise it'll be an IE if you don't have that. So now, on this next part of the video, I just want to explain to you what you're going to be doing. So you go into your unit videos, okay? So I want you to go from 2 all the way to 8. Now, how it's going to work, some of you already watched Unit 2. So Unit 2 will be ready to go. I know some of the people that are already past Unit 3. Then what you're going to do is you finish watching all these, you try it out, you then go to your blog. Then in your blog, you make a new post. And that new post will be Unit 2. And in here, you write 1 paragraph and add 1 screenshot. Okay, I think screenshots won't work. Yeah. So then in your paragraph, make sure that you add what was interesting, what you learned, and how you're going to use it. And then you publish, then you make a new post called Unit 3, and you move on to Unit 3. Okay, some of these within them have multiple lessons. You don't need to make a paragraph for each lesson, you only need to make a paragraph for the unit. The reason why I have this set up the way it is because I want it to be easy to access. When you go through it, you have what order you're supposed to watch each one in. Okay, so you're able to get through it all and understand what it means. So you've already done Lesson 2 conditionals if you've already completed the first task. So then you can go ahead and see and connect it to the other 2 lessons provided. So that way you're able to go through all of this. Then by the end you should be as an introduction to game. So understanding how gravity works, how to jump, how to make a maze, and how to save a copy of certain scripts. If you go into making new blocks and game strategies, these will make your coding a ton easier. And they're going to help you with many different things. So for this one, you're talking about levels, talking about levels with the goal area, you're talking about scrolling games, health meters, but you won't get to 10 If you get to 10, you start looking at that stuff, it's not going to make sense until you go to all the other units first. These provide you with the background knowledge needed to progress further. So do make sure that you have that. If you have any other questions throughout, you can go ahead and ask me, but this is essentially what we'll be doing for the next 3 to 4 classes.